We are live! Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Show Must Go On. Line. Today's guests are Twitterico. How y'all doing today? Emily, always at the ready.
Always at the ready. Always.
This is perfect. This is so much fun. This is by far the largest group we've had on one of these interviews for the series. So it's going to be fun. There will be some mayhem. There will be some piano playing. I mean, the world may turn upside down. Who's to say? I mean, we do have someone in Australia. So in a way, you know.
The world is round, yes.
Good point. Good point. So on that note, let's go around and let's hear from everyone your name, where you're calling in from, and how many times you've seen Hamilton. Lou, let's start with you.
So I'm Louise. I live in Cardiff in Wales, and I've seen Hamilton twice in London.
Yay! You know, I'll pop in here since I'm second on the list here. Hey, everyone. I'm SHO, a.k.a. bwaySHO, she, her. And I've seen Hamilton 8 times across the world. Pretty cool. And I'm calling in from Washington State.
Next.
Kirsty. Oh, there we go. You got to me first. I'm Kirsty. I'm from Glasgow in Scotland, and I haven't seen Hamilton on stage yet, but I have second row tickets for June, as long as this doesn't ruin it.
So, hi everyone, I'm Juliana, I'm from Brazil. I also haven't watched Hamilton live yet on the theater, but I've seen it 1,000 times on Disney+.
I'm Claire, I'm in Cambridge in the UK, and I've never seen it on stage yet, but will be at some point this year if my husband buys tickets like he's been instructed to.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cynthia, or Piano on Twitter. I'm calling in from Maryland, and I've seen Hamilton one time in DC in like summer of 2018. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Susanna from Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and I've seen Hamilton once in London.
Hi, I'm Elvira. I've seen Hamilton once in London. I live in Bristol, and I'm from Spain. Sorry about the confusion.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I'm Brian. I'm from New York, living in northwest England near Preston. I would say probably no Manchester better than Preston. I've seen Hamilton 8 times. I've seen 5 times in New York and 3 times in London.
Finally, I'm Emily. I'm from Sydney. I was born in Sydney, and I live in Sydney. And I've seen Hamilton once, but 0 minus 16 days. She will be seeing it in Sydney. Opening preview night.
Nice.
This is so exciting. I have to just say, like, it is so cool how everyone's calling in from somewhere different. Like, the representation of Twitterico is just phenomenal. It's such a lovely space. Miranda saying, wait, Brian, you're from New York? So best. Wait, I can't hear you over that accent.
How you doing?
So everyone watching at home, hello, we see you in the comments. Joey, Andy, Miranda. If you have any questions, thoughts, comments, please type them away. Anything can happen. And this is such a fun time because there's so many cross sections of, everyone loves Hamilton here, and this guy named Lin-Manuel Miranda, he's on the star I have.
Who?
And we all have. Oh yeah, what was it? There it is. It looks like we have someone This is so interesting. So we are having something that's never happened before, which is the studio only holds 10 people. And there's someone who's potentially going to join us in a few minutes here from a different. Oh, yes. Hello. So if you're trying to enter, I see you. I appreciate you, and we will sub that in and out maybe in a little bit. So hang tight and comment in the comment section if it's you, because it doesn't say who it is. Woo! So let's go in reverse order. This isn't going to be like everyone answer every type of thing. It can kind of, it can be a popcorn, like whoever wants to go. You don't need to raise your hand. You can just like shout it out and then battle out whoever has the loudest voice. That's how we do it in New York. So,
Nope.
just
I'll win. I'll just so you guys know.
this isn't a competition, God. But it's not a competition, right? So what was the thing that fanned a spark into a flame for you? Why did you love Hamilton so much that you started following Lin on Twitter? And then not just like, I'm trying to find the right words, because this is like a group of super fans, but also like the respectable super fans that like know the right boundaries and who love Lin and Hamilton and In the Heights and T. Rico for like the right reasons, and like know when to kind of like, hey, this is what we're gonna do and this is what we're not gonna do, but also show that love in such a way that there's this beautiful international community that is just like been one of the best parts of being on social media, and especially now during quarantine. I don't know what it would be like without y'all. I mean, just having this group and having our like monthly video chats, it seems like, and celebrating one another's birthdays and all these big moments. So does anyone have, first thought to that?
I can step in if you want.
Perfect.
I have been sort of into Lin's work way before Hamilton. I became sort of obsessed with In the Heights after I first saw it, and I first saw it after Lin had already left. Honestly, Javi was my first Usnavi in 2009, I think, and I just never seen anything like that before on Broadway, and I just became obsessed immediately. And then I started to follow Lin on Twitter. Then, so I got to kind of watch Hamilton develop via tweets on Twitter, and just amazing. So I kind of lucked into being exposed early to Lin's work, and was therefore able to get tickets for Hamilton at the Public with no problem. Just went online, got tickets for no problem. No one even knew about it yet. And then by the time I got to see it, the tickets were, or I could have sold my tickets for $1,000 a ticket, and I was like, it ain't worth it. Nope. And I had 3 of them, and there's no way I was selling them. But it was just so unique. And I got to be honest with you, the first time I saw Hamilton live was before the soundtrack was out. It was before any of the mainstream anything. And at first, when I saw it, I was just kind of like, I don't really get it. Like, I get it, but it was so fast paced, and I just, it was hard for my brain to catch up to what was going on. Then when they finally released the sound, not the soundtrack. I hate saying soundtrack for Broadway things. The original Broadway cast recording, and I could listen to it and get it into my brain. That's when I was like, forget about it. And that's when
forget about it
over and over again. And that's when I got the permanent reminder on my arm and all that. So I was very fortunate to be exposed to Lin's work way before he became the Lin he is today.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Like, I feel like I came a little late to the game, and it's like we've always said, like, it's better to be late to the game than not come at all and join whenever. Everyone's journey is different, but it's pretty cool that you've been like there from jump, and nice. That's all.
Being in New York, I was able to, just hop on. I mean, I saw Heights literally on a whim. I didn't have a clue anything about it, and we went to see it, and I was just like, that was something else. And then just it's life changing, really, if you think about it. It literally was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go next. My mom's from New York, so I go there often. And in 2008, I was lucky enough to live in New York, and the Tonys were on my birthday then. And I saw the bit from In the Heights and his speech, and I was like, I need to go there. And then the next year, I got to see it twice, and I was just blown away. The same as Brian, Lynn had left, so I saw Javier twice, and it was so beautiful. And then I got introduced to Hamilton at the White House when he did the little preview, and I was like, this is going to be fire. And then I couldn't wait to see it, but I was in Amsterdam, so it took a while for it to open in London, and then all the tickets kept selling out and stuff, and I was like, we have to go there. My mom does not like rap. I got her to go. I got her to read all the lyrics so she understood what the show is, because like Brian said, it is so fast, and it really helps to know what did we settle on for the word for instead of soundtrack?
Original
Broadway cast recording.
Yeah.
Original
cast recording, cast album, just anything but soundtrack.
Yeah. So practice it over and over and over. I'm still trying to get the raps.
Maybe it's just on my end, but there seems to be a little bit of technical difficulties. That happens with video calls from across the universe. So that's okay. Cool. Thank you for that beautiful story. It's actually really cool. Just to jump in here for a second, I want to keep hearing it. The way that it hit throughout the world at different times and in different ways, and that the words, especially if like David's rapping them, come at you so quickly that if you don't know what it's about already, I could imagine it being a little overwhelming. Like it's overwhelming if it's your first language. Then if it's your second language, we're adding like a whole nother thing. And so I'd love to hear someone who experienced that. And if you listened to the cast recording before you saw it, or saw it either in person or on Disney Plus, we don't discriminate here. You know, the life doesn't discriminate. So why should we? Okay.
I can go. I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only one who struggled with it, because English is not my first language. So I thought maybe that was it, and I'm happy to know that's not the problem. But I've been a fan of Lin since 2008 or 2009 when he was in House. But I don't really follow artists online. I'm not used to it. I don't go looking for what they're doing or not. And I didn't even know that he would be on Broadway. Like, it didn't make much sense for me for like a TV artist to be on Broadway. When I found out that most of them are there, I was just like mind blown. And actually, I found out that Lin was involved in Hamilton when I saw the first trailer for the movie, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's Alvi from House!" And then I just jumped back on Twitter because I found out that Lin was there, and there was gonna have a Twitter party with the cast and everything, and I found that so cool. And then I jumped back to Twitter. So anyway, I love it. I've listened to the album 1,000 times before watching it the first time. And the first time I watched it, I was still kind of lost because the album is a little different, like the nuances for the songs. So it took me a while to get used to it. But I'm just glad that I did, and that I found out this amazing family on Twitter, because you guys are the best. You're an amazing Nat, during this time. So yeah.
I'll go afterwards. I on the opposite side, I actually joined up really late. Lynn's works were on the kind of outreach of my awareness for a period of time. I was in New York in December 08, and I stupidly did not see In the Heights because I did not know about it at the time. I watched Chicago instead. And again, in like 2016, I watched Moana, and I was like, this album is pretty good. I wonder who the hell this, lyricist is. It's pretty darn awesome. And then when the original Broadway cast recording came out, I was at work and my friend was playing it, and I was like, don't you dare play it. I want to watch the musical before I listen to the original cast album. And she's like, you're going to make a mistake. And I'm like, no, I'm not making a mistake. I'm going to watch the musical first and then listen to it, which was dumb because it's not coming to Sydney until this year. So I waited 5 years to listen to Hamilton. When it came out on Disney Plus last year, I listened to it and I was like, I made a mistake. I should have listened to this 5 years ago. And immediately started listening to the recording. And then that was when I started listening to David's raps and trying to learn the hell out of them so I could go to my friends and be like, watch this. I'm really cool at this. And they're like, you're weird. So that was sort of my inception into this world. And then I joined Twitter, was it like September, August last year, and where I met you lovely folks. And now we're a family.
Emily, I can't believe, I think I also went to the US in 2008, and I think we also went to see Chicago as well. So we made the same mistake you were talking about. No. Yeah. I mean, for me, I met Hamilton. I think it was through choir. I'm in a choir. We only do musicals in Bristol. And they came up with Moana first, actually, because I remember we were in a pub session after choir, of course. As you do, and they mentioned about something about the soundtrack from Moana, and I loved it, but I hadn't really looked. I had only seen Lin in the video with The Rock when they're like singing it in the studio, and I remember the guy with the long hair. That's all it took out. And then I saw him with James Corden, and then he came up with choir with Hamilton, and then suddenly he was just everywhere. It was one of those like revelations. Lin-Manuel Miranda, and yeah, everyone knows about it because of Twitter and all of that. So my family, they don't really know like who he is in Spain. I don't think so. So they're all like, who is this guy, Lin-Manuel Miranda? We're getting there in Spain. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that was my bit.
Okay, well, I'll jump back in here for a second, and then anyone else who wants to tell their stories. But, sometimes, like Emily, you were willing to wait for it, and that's okay,
Just Kelly won.
What was that?
Nothing.
Oh, great. But honestly, there's something beautiful about the way that we all just we met through Twitter. We met through this love of this musical and the people who made the musical. And it's just like, that's so beautiful. It's so cool that in a world that's wide enough, we could find each other. And Em, why would you be here if you didn't think that I was going to do this?
By the end of this, you'll have named every song in the musical.
I mean, it's just, I will never be satisfied until I do. Anyone else? Just me?
You're not throwing away your show.
Just you.
Nah, you'll be back for more.
Just you wait. They'll just keep coming, I'm trying not to reuse them because that's, there are some that are so easy to, but, I'm not throwing away my shot. You just got to throw them out there when they come naturally. Oh, hi, Limbo. So we have a dog
story tonight. So
what?
You're just telling the story of tonight. So
oh, here we go.
Brian's like, what's happening here?
This is great. And for Cynthia watching at home, you can pop back in. You can. This is fun. I'm gonna fun fact for everyone. Bloop. Gonna pop you back in here. StreamYard, this wonderful website that we are using right now, only allows for 10 people on the stream, but also only allows 10 people backstage, which I thought that you could have more than 10 people backstage and then just kind of like swap people in or out. but we're all learning something new. There will be a second Twitterico conversation at some point in the future for anyone who came and said, like, I really want to be a part of this on A.Ham's birthday, but wasn't able to tune in today, which is totally fine. Oh, Andy, one of my Showtron, says, as if I expected any different from SHO. You know me so well. Thank you. So, in order to celebrate Hamilton's birthday, which is today, a fun fact for your day, Miguel's birthday was over the weekend. Alexander Hamilton's birthday is today. My birthday is on the 14th. And Lynn's birthday is the 16th. So I'm just saying, like, I was meant to be a Hamilton fan. It all works out. So I would love to have our lovely piano player play us a little something to celebrate his birthday.
Yep, I'm playing an excerpt of Dear Theodosia. So yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Of course.
So why don't you take a moment and just talk about, we love seeing all of your piano playing and your artistry and the way that you combine your love of Hamilton and Twitterico and Lynn and celebrate all the things.
Yes, I found Twitter back in 2019, and I was just getting introduced to everything that Lynn was doing because I found Lynn through Hamilton a few years prior, and I've been playing piano for this would be 10 years almost around now, 10 years playing piano, and I love playing Lynn and Lackamore's amazing music of Hamilton and In the Heights, and it's just, yeah, I love it so much. And so I decided just randomly in like around August of last year to do this big like collaboration of Dear Theodosia, which as like a big thank you to Lynn, because he's just such a generous person and he gives us so much kindness and love. So why not give the love back, you know? And so, and I didn't know it was going to be as big as it was, but I ended up putting 50 people together and doing this big collaboration, and it was great. And then I'm actually doing another one right now for Lynn's birthday, and we're putting the finishing touches on it, and it'll come out on the 16th, of course, Lynn's birthday. So yeah, for Everything I Know from In the Heights. So yeah, it's been really fun just seeing everybody doing singing and artwork and messages and all of the stuff and putting it together. It's really fun. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, hearing you play that was just so beautiful, and I saw everyone's faces just getting so happy, and it's really nice to see everyone's different talents and strengths be celebrated in Twitterico. And I just want to, we have such a wide range of humans here. Claire, my dear Claire.
Yes, I was trying to avoid everything. Sit here quietly for an hour and get away with it.
You almost did. It was so close. It was so close. But, there are a few of us that are also in SLS Academy, and Slim really loves to freestyle.
That's okay. He's heard me. He doesn't want to.
Okay.
He's my harshest critic.
I know. this is the time where all the trucks go by. Brian could talk all about this, but just dogs and pets and happiness. But we will get back to Brian in a few. We love. I feel like we could chat with Brian. We all, you know.
He needs his own special. There needs to be a Brian special.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Brought to you by Twitterico and bwaySHO in collaboration.
Tats are us.
So Claire, I want to hear more. So Slim wants to hear more as well, but he has art ability to showcase his love without the barking. But that's okay, bud. Slimbo, I'll give you a treat at the end. Oh, I didn't lie. I didn't tell him I'd give it to him right now. Just told him I'd give it to him later, and he stopped for a second and looked at me. But I don't like to play that game, you know, where it's like you say a special word for the pet, and then they. Oh, wait! Do you have your special little pup?
That's because my house is currently being wrecked as I am sitting here listening to you with a pleasant smile on my face. We have no bin bags left.
No.
The roll is strewn across the kitchen to one side of me. But I'm a professional.
So how has being part of FLSA and Twitterico and just general life, how has that all kind of worked together? And, you know, do you feel like your work with like freestyling helps at all in like the outside world? Like, you know, sorry, it's slightly hard to concentrate with the dog barking like that, but we get used to it and we love it. And take it away.
Oh yeah, well it's kind of an odd one because I always was a fan of Freestyle Love Supreme, and living in England and being a fan of Freestyle Love Supreme is a very problematic issue because the chances of seeing them ever live are zip. So yeah, the pandemic kind of panned out quite helpfully in the sense that the community went online, the courses went online, and I finally had the chance to prove how bad I am at beatboxing and to release my inner child and go for the sort of freestyling side of it. And yeah, discovered I could. And it's probably the most exciting discovery that you can ever have if anybody's ever tried these things out. I really wholeheartedly recommend to anybody doing an FLSA course because that first moment when you suddenly realize you can do it is like, oh, it's such a buzz. It's such a buzz.
I will second that. She's very good. She's very good.
No, second the buzz, but no, I'm not that good. But yeah.
I'd say you're much better than you think you are. And that goes for most people who take part in FLSA. And like most things in life is for some reason, maybe it's the Britishness, I don't know, but it's easy to play your accomplishments down, but you should be really proud. And the fierceness to just go in front of anyone in freestyle and try something new is beautiful. And then you've been so amazing.
But I think that's the essence of that community. You're in such it's like this, you know, you're in such a warm, welcoming room the entire time. You're not feeling like you're taking a risk because everybody's there. Everybody's genuinely got your back. I know I say it sort of a lot on Twitter, but I mean it. And it sort of comes from, you know, the love in Freestyle Love Supreme is just the central sort of philosophy that sort of binds it all together. And that you really get the sense of that when you are sort of working with them and working with the academy. And it's like a drug. I can't get enough of it now, to be honest. I'm addicted to it.
I feel that. I sometimes just freestyle out of nowhere, and then it's like, what is she doing? And, you know, maybe we'll freestyle at the end of this.
I've been banned from freestyling in the car by my daughter. She's like, you look so strange. Sort of when school was on, school pickup, and I'd sort of be hitting the Spotify sort of backbeats and just sitting, and she's like, I'm so embarrassed, you're my mother. I would have thought it's either that or listening to a soundtrack, and as she gets in the door, it's like, turn it down now. It's like
I'd be doing the annoying mom and being like, nope, and just turning it up. And just be like, this is my car, my rules.
It's when you sit in a car park though and nobody else can tell what you do. You do generally look like you're completely mad.
Just singing along with no one else there.
Pretty much. What's my next word?
Yeah. Slim's saying that he speaks more eloquently than me right now, and I feel that. Yes.
While you're ahead, Sean. While you're ahead.
Just
I thought this was supposed to be friendship and love. And now y'all are just hating on me on my own series. What is this?
It's not even a friendship. We take the mic.
Taking the mic. Perfect. No, it's great. I also just thought I'd take a second that if someone was trying to join us in Twitterico, we do have one extra slot now. So join us and hopefully it'll work. But I just wanted to make sure to say that if you are watching, and if you're not watching and you tried to join, yo, were you trying to just spam into this fun group of people? I get that. It's cool. It's cool. So Lou, I want to hear more from you and your beautiful artwork, I'm going to say, around you with the Legos and all the cool things you do. Can you just talk about all of that? Open floor.
Oh God, don't get me started on the Lego, seriously. So I'm an adult with no children, no pets. So I spend all of my money on the awesomeness that is behind me. House is full of this kind of stuff. We go from Harry Potter to Marvel to Star Wars. And then obviously, if I compare that to the beautiful artwork that my husband got me for Christmas. So the Hamilton love is real and goes everywhere. And even up there, we have my Amy Lynn Lee Scoresby picture that one of our other group has drawn. So yeah, lots of awesome geekery is filling my house constantly, which is not a bad thing to do. I think everyone in this chat's probably got some Amy artwork dotted about.
Do we ever?
Do we? Well,
none.
Everyone just.
Which one do you want?
Yeah, wait. I love. It's fun to kind of recreate the Lin face. Can we do a Twitterico Lin face right here?
That was me this morning before I did this chat.
Yeah, I was going to say. That's not what at work.
I look like I'm gurning if I do that. There's just no. Not a good look.
This is what I can do with Lynn's face.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I feel like this segment brought to you by Show and Tell.
Hey.
Didn't.
Thank you. Perfect. I'm glad. It's hard to. I always do these references, and I don't usually get all the backlash, so it's hard to.
I'm so sorry. I haven't
much.
had coffee, and it is not yet 9 a.m. So.
Well, I can't survive without cafe, so I don't know how you can.
I've just discovered that one of the Tea Rico mugs fits a whole bottle of beer this evening, so I'm okay.
Nice.
Heyo. I know. I've got my giant Hamilton cup I got from Etsy, which is so cool. I love it. It's actually so funny because we did a Twitterico secret Hamilton fan gift exchange, and as looking for other people's things, I sent a cool Hamilton cup. And then, you know how Etsy or anything on the internet just is like, you like this, let me show you this other thing you might be interested in. And I went, you're right, I am interested in that for marketing campaign. So,
wow, the internet actually got you.
I know, but I'm really happy about it. Thank you, internet. So speaking about internet and marketing, I feel like if we don't talk a little bit more at least about Tea Rico, sometimes it's like Tea Rico, Twitterico, we got it because they're so awesome and nice. And Slim has his awesome little thing here. And I've got Amy's pictures here, but they sent this adorable Tobio.
Oh, cute.
It's not the cutest thing, and we just took it off yesterday so that we could put his cute little jacket on when it's cold out, because it gets a little cold. But then I'm gonna put it back on him because he wears it like a cape. He's so proud.
Was that his reward for eating your mask?
Oh my gosh! So yes, because, where is it? It's right up here. He's too short. So my boyfriend John, who has seen Hamilton 48 times in person, is yes, Brian, that is the right reaction.
That was my reaction yesterday when I found that out.
I know. It's like so I saw Hamilton on. I'm going to try to make a tradition now of seeing Hamilton on my birthday, which this year it's going to make it slightly harder, but Disney Plus. So 2 years ago, saw it in Puerto Rico on Lynn's birthday. And if you saw that cool photo of him taking a curtain call bow with the Puerto Rican flag, I took it and he retweeted it, and it was pretty cool. You know, some people here get retweeted by him all the time, so maybe the like joy of it isn't as. But for me, I remember when it happened, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's happening!" It was very cool. I have some chill. It was pretty neat. I'm not gonna lie. And then last year, John and I went to see Hamilton in London on my birthday, and that was just so neat. So now in a couple days, we've got Disney Plus. Does anyone else have any like fun traditions now with Hamilton?
I saw Hamilton
try.
Battle it out.
I saw Hamilton last year on my husband's birthday. So how it happened ended up being really weird. So most of you know that here in Cardiff, back in the olden days, we had monthly musicals sing-along night that we went to. So I went go along to that as religiously as I possibly could, and went in wearing my Hamilton t-shirt to one of the nights, and got talking to one of the guys that's now a really good friend. And he was like, "You're wearing a Hamilton shirt." He was wearing his identical Hamilton shirt, so we started chatting. And he kind of goes, "Oh yeah, I've got tickets to go see them in May, and I was going to take some 2 friends, but they've dropped out." And I was like, "I've literally just met you, but I'm coming with you." Yeah. And kind of talking about it, ends up being a Saturday on my husband's birthday. So I was like, right, done. So ended up going to London for the weekend, me, husband, and my new friend. And yeah, went and saw Hamilton on his birthday. So, you know, I'm going to try and, like you said, make that a tradition, you know, because my husband loves Hamilton. I basically forced him into loving it by playing the soundtrack so much he had no choice but to learn every single word. So when I kind of got tickets to go, yeah, I forced it on him, but he loves it. It's fine.
Yes. Anyone else?
I just listen to it all the time. I don't listen to anything on my birthday, but if I have any chance, I'm in the car, I'm like, well, I'm going to whip out the second act and just blare through it for the next 30 minutes if I can.
The second act, you get so emotional.
Yeah, but there's some really good power ballads in there. Like, you know, One Last Time is so much fun to sing.
Oh, Room Where It Happens.
Yeah, true. Yeah, too.
What's keeping on your side?
They're all so good. Just one song is like better than the other. Yeah. Can we talk about those Hamilton ears for a second? Tell us more.
Well, when everything went on Disney Plus last year, everybody was sharing all of their wares and everything that they had. I had a couple of t-shirts that I got. I can't find them because I've moved house, so I'm wearing a Disney Love is Love t-shirt today. But I'd seen, I think it must have been like the day, like the 3rd of July, the Hamilton ears. And I was like woefully unprepared, totally unprepared. I'm very upset with myself. But my friend makes ears. So I sent her the picture and she was like, right, okay, we'll get you some ears made. And so she made me them and she dropped them off so that I could wear them when I was recovering from surgery a few months ago. So I was just sitting, she brought me drugs and ears. It was great. Prescription, like actual proper drugs, not like something from the side of the street. Yeah, so she'd made me that because had I been prepared, what I would have liked to have done was had these, because I had a Hamel party in my garden, because at that point with the restrictions we weren't allowed people in the house, so you were allowed 2 households in your garden. So I put a gazebo up, and like put a TV at the door, and had the seats sitting. I had a big drinks dispenser. We had Hamiltonies, and like there was spray stuff so that nobody could touch anything, and it was all, it was going great, and I was all very excited, and I was really getting into it, especially during it was when we were watching Wait for It. But I used to live right behind woods, and I'd never noticed in the 12 years I'd lived there that there was really loud birds behind the house. So they decided to come out and shout at the same time as I'm getting really emotional and crying during this film. And I've never been so angry at nature in all my life. But it was fab. But I kind of wish that I'd had these for the event in question. But I was very, very grateful to my friend Sam who made these for me. I think it's just because my glasses and my big head and my hair are kind of tipping a wee bit. Yeah, she's a fantastic friend and totally understands my Hamilton obsession. She is now obsessed with Hamilton as well, so she understands too.
Having friends who understand your love and obsession with Hamilton, or like anything in life, but for us, let's be honest, Hamilton. And that's one of the best parts of the Twitterico fam, is that when someone's done an interview or you see that Daveed Diggs is going to be in The Little Mermaid, like it's like a safe space that you can post and be like, who else is so excited about this? And then you have another group of people who can share in that excitement. I'm trying to think if there's anything in particular. I see that the time is nearly running out. Nearly an hour has gone by. So crazy. And we will get to talking about some of our favorite charities, because just like it was important for Eliza Hamilton, it's important to all of us. So why don't we take a break and hear everyone's yes, got the nod of disapproval. Perfect. Why don't we go around in the opposite order? So Cynthia, we'll start with you, and then we'll go back around and just talk about a nonprofit or charity or two that you're really passionate about. This is your time to give them a shout out.
Yeah, well, I wore my Broadway Cares shirt because the shirt's awesome from Tirico, but yeah, Broadway Cares is just, it's like all the Broadway stars, and like especially with the Actors Fund, like they all need all the support right now, because since they can't do live shows, so we support them in every way that we can and get this T-shirt because it supports them too. But yeah, Broadway Cares and Actors Fund, yes.
No. Me? Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure which way we were going. So one of the charities that I support massively is the Pet Blood Bank in the UK. So they help with donations from canine blood donors, and get them transported to vets right throughout the UK. So Brian will be very familiar with them. My late dog was a donor for them, and each pint that the dogs donate can save 4 dogs. So he saved 64 dogs in his lifetime of donating. And during this time, the dogs, there's been obviously restrictions and everything, so they're really pushing to try and get more bloods, and also just to try and get more funds for a van, so that they can get out to different locations and still get the much needed donations that they need to help all the lovely little pooches.
I assume I'm next. I'm actually going to go away from musicals, and I'm going to return to the home country of Oz. Last year we had major bushfires, and they decimated a significant number of our wildlife. And so I want to give a big shout out to Wires, which is a wildlife rescue non-for-profit organization, as well as the RSPCA, who've done incredible work to save so many of the stranded individuals and the relocating and rehoming of certain things like koalas, which are now endangered, which is insanely scary. So I want to do a shout out to that. But I'll also do shout out to Actors Fund and all the musical charities that are out there as well, because that's a huge thing and it's still ongoing. So shout out to them.
Yeah, I didn't prepare anything for this, but what I can say is over the past few years since I've been here, I've been seeing less and less support for the RSPCA, which is obviously something that I deal with often, where people are getting turned away. RSPCA practices or clinics are closing because they're losing funding. So if I'm going to make it personal, I would have to say it would be nice if the RSPCA had some more funding and support.
Shout out to all the vets out there during this pandemic. Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to the rooftops.
My go. Yes. I like to try and contribute towards like different charities throughout the year. Like for example, last year with the Australia fires, I remember there was a biggie, so I would just try and make sure I do it equally. But I think something very close to my heart would be cancer. So I regularly make sure I donate to Cancer Research UK, just because it's my home, and so that will be my charity.
That's beautiful. So I think that all us theater lovers are having a hard time during the pandemic not seeing live theater. Actually, a few Dutch companies, because we're in full lockdown, but they're able to stream, and also ballets. So I've been getting into that. So my charity is the Dutch National Ballet, which is one of the top ranked ballet companies in the world. And they do beautiful classics and new work. And it's something that, the joy of looking forward, like Emily, like she gets to look forward to actually going somewhere. Usually I see between 2 and 8 performances a month. So it's a huge gap in my life now and in how much enjoyment I get. And what I also really love about Lin is that he's used his enormous platform now to raise money for Puerto Rico and for other things that he's helping, like the arts. It's so important to foster children in the arts and get everyone through this. And the Actors Fund, not only for helping actors, but everyone who makes the production possible, the lights, wardrobe, tech, etc. And it's a really rough time. Oh. Am I gone? No. Sorry. It's a really rough time in the arts, and this is when we need to give them money so it's still there when we can go back.
Can I have two? I have two. I'm sorry. One of them is a charity that's very, very dear to my heart. It's not a very massive charity. It's called Spectrum, spectrum.org.uk. It supports families, actually like ours, that have children with varying degrees of disabilities. I have an autistic son. They provide for days out so that we can go out as a family, do different activities as a family, and they've kept going, supporting families all the way through the pandemic as well. And it's the outreach that they provide for families like ours, but for parents who really need support, and to provide the children with opportunities is immense. And the other one is an American-based charity. It's based in Detroit. It's called Life Leaders. It's celebrated and supported quite massively, actually, by the Freestyle Love Supreme Academy. I came across it during the latter half of the year, but it's something that's really struck a chord with me. It takes kids with dreams, with aspirations, and makes it possible. Gives them the skills, gives them the training that they need to actually turn those dreams into reality. It's a massive piece of equity for kids, which will, the sky's the limit for these kids in sort of inner city Detroit, and it provides an escape for them. So yeah, massive shout out to Life Leaders.
Nice. So I'm going to talk about a Brazilian nonprofit and also a charity that helps raise funds for this nonprofit. The charity event is Teleton. I know some countries have it, and the nonprofit is called AACD. They help. They focus on medical therapeutic assistance in orthopedics and rehabs. They used to have only children as patients when they started, but nowadays it doesn't matter how old you are, and all their staff goes beyond boundaries to help their patients be as independent as possible. Doesn't matter what kind of physical disability you have. And it's really close to my heart because my dad was a patient there after we had a car accident, and he had a spinal cord injury. And thanks to them that like he's recovered just as much as he have. So a big shout out for both of them.
Me. So mine's kind of a little twofer as well. So supporting things like Broadway Cares, the Zipco shirt, because me and Cynthia both got that same shirt. I think Claire's got it as well, and I think it's got that shirt in various colours. And so Broadway Cares obviously for Broadway, and there's the Theatre Support Fund for the West End, so in London, but also local theatres. So I've donated to a local theatre here in Cardiff that I probably go to every other show that they put on when they were open. And obviously, you know, they're a city centre venue that lost all manner of income. So it's just to really kind of support your local theatre or your local show venue, just the place where you go a lot.
Nice.
Perfect. Wow. Those are so phenomenal. And I'll have everyone send me the links to your respective places so that we can have them
going
all.
so I can come.
Yeah. And the one I'd like to add is the Next Generation Project. If you've seen me wear these bright pink Black Lives Matter shirts, my friend Sis created it, and it helps Black and brown trans lives in the arts and support themselves. And I think that's like one of the most important things right now. Black Lives Matter, Black trans lives matter, period. It's a factual statement, and I like to make sure to say it every episode. So I'll make sure to add the link to that, and then all of your charities. Thank you so much for it, truly beautiful, like this international episode with so many wonderful charities and nonprofits, and a reason like I like to have that at the end of every episode so that we can do that. So do we have any other fun Hamilton, since it is his birthday and we're talking about all things the musical and Lin, and are there any just fun stories that anyone wants to share?
I'm seeing a musical this Friday. Second one in 2 weeks, which is exciting. I'm seeing Rent.
Shut up.
Sorry.
I'm friending you though.
I'm seeing Rent this Friday.
You're seeing Rent?
I'm seeing Rent. Yes,
Oh,
for the first time.
Love
For the
Rent.
first time with the Sydney Opera House, which is such a weird venue, but whatever. And then I'm potentially seeing Frozen. Like I've made it my mission, right? Every musical that comes to Sydney now, I'm seeing it, even if it's got bad reviews. I'm seeing it. Just because I see people and they're like, I've seen X number of musicals. Sure, when you told me that you saw like 70 productions or something one year, I was like, I need to get up my game. I've seen like none.
Yeah, I think it was when we were chatting that I realized that I saw between when I moved back from Texas, when I moved to New York from Texas at January 9th, 2019, until the pandemic started in mid-March, I'd seen about 100 musicals in that time span. Musical/plays, Broadway, absurd. I mean, it's ridiculous. Between like Broadway, off-Broadway tours, little events or whatnot. But it truly, though, if there's something to learn from that, is that sometimes the best experience are those small little things. Like the fact that Brian got to see Hamilton and In the Heights back in the day, and then anyone who saw Freestyle of Supreme Preem back in the day. Like those are some of the most beautiful experiences, are those like small intimate moments. So never shy away from something that might not have great reviews or a lot of press, because to be a spy on the inside, isn't that the best? Gotcha.
I think that's 10 references you've made thus far.
Just like the $10 founding father. I like to keep
Here we go.
I added fuel to the fire. Damn it.
I think we need to count them all.
Theater experiences.
If you guys really want to know the sort of person we're all fanboy and girling about here, what's brought us together, I'll try and keep it short. But when I was obviously following Lin for ages on Twitter, and when they moved over here from Mary Poppins, and just after I moved here, like literally a month after, Lin followed me back. I remember it so clearly. I was at work at a job I didn't like. At the end of the day, and I saw he followed me back, and I thought it was not real. So I was like, that's some fake, whatever. But it wasn't. And then he, I'm not going to go into details, but basically he was worried about Toby. Toby was a little thrown off after the flight over, because Toby came here as well. So he messaged me for some advice. I gave him some advice. It was mind blowing, but great. But that was that. About a year later, a message pops up on my DMs. Hey, can you get to London on Tuesday to see the final dress rehearsal for the London cast of Hamilton? I haven't spoken in a year, and this guy remembered that, and I was like, I'd quit my job if I had to get down there, and so I said yes. And I was just thinking, he's being nice, and I appreciated it. Don't get me wrong, and it was great. And so I go there half thinking I'm going to get to the theater and have no ticket waiting for me, but I did, and it was like third row, and I was right next to the guy who did the portraits for who shot these, and I showed him that. But anyway, Lin came and said hi before the show, which I was like, holy crap. But after, he literally came back down to see me and grabbed my phone and said, where's your camera on this thing? And he took a selfie with me, which is that one. Yeah. And this is the sort of dude this is, and it's not the only time he's done something like that for me. So he is the most genuine person I've ever met, and this wouldn't have happened without Twitter. It just wouldn't. It just absolutely wouldn't. So we stan a king.
That's such a beautiful story. Shout out to Twitter.
Twitter, and for banning Trump.
Yes. Finally.
Yes.
Come on. Yes.
It was like the same for me, because like it was only just like, it was like December of 2019, and I was in like my guitar class in my senior year, of all places to be, and it was like the 3 million day, which all of you were, if you were all around on Twitter for that was like when Lin got 3 million followers on Twitter, and he was just shouting out everybody, and I didn't even know how he knew who I was, but he just randomly shouted out
on so many things. Come on, my friend. You know how to know you.
Yes.
It's the best.
Yeah, it was insane. And then just the most recent one was just Dear Theodosia, when like he saw our project like the day after, and it was like the day before I was going to my freshman year of online college at Nazareth, and it was insane, because he was just like, love you all, and it's just like, he's just the most genuinely sweet, kind, generous person ever. he's so sweet. So yeah.
I love all of these stories so much. I mean, it's always cool to know when someone that you love their work and is famous and one of your favorite actors and writers and everything. And then, they say don't meet your idols. But with Lin, I don't want to call him my idol because maybe that's weird. But I do want to call him like someone who I've looked up to and love his work, and to have met him a few times. Like, he was always so cool. And just because Brian showed his, that was, it was so cool. I'm just gonna, I might as well, we have a few minutes here. I'll just tell, we a lot of us here probably know Gigi, the wonderful Gigi, and we went to see. The cool thing about living in New York is, like, when In the Heights is being filmed in New York City, and you're like, do you want to walk around and like see the set and just like see what happens? Because anyone could just kind of walk around. Like, they had the closed off part, but you could also just see what's going on and not film, but just like, experience it. And I mean, truly one of the coolest experiences of my life was seeing them rehearse and then film the opening number, and seeing Lin watching Anthony perform Usnavi was just one of the most beautiful things, because like the pride, the legacy, if you will, of all of it, seeing that happen. And then like he was chatting with us, and then he would be like, okay, I'll be right back, and then runs over and chats with like Anthony and the crew, and then like comes back. And I thought like maybe he'll chat with us for a minute, but then we just got to chatting. And what a cool person, like no airs about it. Not like, this is my big thing. Isn't it crazy? Like, people came up to him with the Hamilton and he would sign it, like, just very proud. It was in the Heights. It was in, Washington Heights. And so that was pretty cool to see him there, seeing it all happen. But then I also saw him at I interviewed him once. It was pretty cool, whatever. It's, one day I'll put it into existence that I will have like a one-on-one interview. Why not? And it's good to manifest things, so I'm manifesting it now. But at the end of an SLS performance, he was signing everything. And I told him that I had taken the photo outside or at curtain call on his birthday at Hamilton. And he like took a second and he was like, oh yeah, cool. And like, whether he remembered it or not, he at least took the time to like give me that respect. He gave me the time of day to think about it. And I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Not everyone's built like that. Someone who's doing a show on Broadway, you have Hamilton right there, and then across the alley is FLS. And hear all these people calling your name and takes the time to really like look everyone directly in the eyes. That's a cool person.
I would go as far as to say I'm sure he remembered. Like, his brain is unbelievable. I know. I think
you can say something to him and he just remembers and remembers and remembers and remembers.
I think so. I think he's got a really big hard drive in between his ears there, because
I know.
It's just honestly mind blowing that the things that
yeah.
I can only imagine the part of his brain that stores lyrics is like not even near full capacity for his brain, but for ours it's just like overload. That he could know so many lyrics to so many everything. Yeah,
I can't even remember the lyrics to the things I write.
It's very difficult to remember. I mean, I think you're right. Someone who is that kind and that smart and has done so many things, I think he remembers.
He's, it's also a testament to his parents for the way he turned out, because he's genuinely so humble. Anytime I've met him, it's just like he's another nerd with a Super Mario Brothers shirt on, and it's just it doesn't matter that he just rapped his Dark Materials or Mary Poppins or whatever. He's just like, let's have a gin and tonic and drink and sing friggin' Circle of Life. I mean, who does that? That could just be, he could be in a freaking private plane doing whatever he wants, and homie's there at a sing-along in Wales. It's just
Genuinely cool person.
Speaking of Mary Poppins, I just brought this guy in for fun.
Ooh.
Why not?
Actually, can I just say there's Lisa in the chat who's actually just put such a true fact though. The only one who can top his top-notch brain. And I've got to let her have that one in. Is actually Two Touch, and it's true though. Anthony has that phenomenal cerebral cortex thing going on. It's like Megamind squished in.
Yeah, it's definitely a testament to their parents. So shout out to Luz and Luis and his sister Sita, because I'm sure she definitely influenced his life as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so if anyone else has a Lin story, I want to hear it. But all of these things just made me remember so this day last year, John and I saw & Juliet for the second night in a row because it was so good. Bill Sherman's on the creative team, and just like, honestly, when theater's back open and you can see it, first of all, like, see everything, but second, like, make sure to see that because it's one of the best musicals. And when we saw it on the Thursday, I fell in love with it so much that I said, I don't care what you're going to do. I'm going back to see this no matter what. I can't get enough of it. And as fate would have it, as I previously mentioned, John has seen Hamilton 48 times. He saw FLS between 13 and 20, let's say. I don't remember. He has never seen Lin in person in a production. I mean, it is like, it is so unfortunate. I'm lucky. I saw Lin in Hamilton, in Puerto Rico, and then at FLS. He is like, what do I have to do to see this man? Not that you expect it ever, but honestly, it's almost like what's in your control these days. So we go to see & Juliet that second time, and who comes walking in? And I just like go like this because you don't want to make a big deal, but you want to make sure they see. And Lin-Manuel Miranda comes walking down the aisle, and the look on his face was so beautiful because you never know. It's why like life is so funny and miraculous because you can see all of his things and then see him at a friend's show. And we didn't say hi, but as he was walking by, we did the head nod, and he gave me the head nod back, and I was like, cool.
In with the crowd. Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome. And as you can see, I'm blushing because it was such a fabulous experience. And truly, it was like one of those magical days. And then we saw Hamilton, and it's like happiness, like Broadway and the West End and theater in general. It's just happiness. And to have so many people who appreciate that as well. Slimbo. And Slimbo's happiness. Let's be honest. He's so cute. Does anyone else? We are over time, but I don't mind staying on for a few more minutes. If you have to go, I thank you so much for joining us. And if you have another Hamilton or Lin story that you're like, I need to tell the world about it, please take over and share.
I wish I had a Lin story.
Yeah.
I
don't have one yet, but my Hamilton was actually a gift from a friend of mine because he knows I'm crazy about Hamilton. And he gave it to me and he said, okay, whenever you travel abroad, you're going to take the book with you and you are going to meet Lin and ask him to sign it for you. So it's just like, it's amazing that I got it as a gift so I could do that. Just like what I did with Harry Potter book and then a Radcliffe. But, like this one, I'm like, I'm still going to have a story about Lin one day for you.
One day we're all going to meet each other at some point.
True.
I know that would just be like a bunch of random nerds from Twitter just screaming and just all that, all the emotions. That's going to be
random nerds from Twitter. I love that. That's us.
We should rename the group Random Nerds. The RNT.
Yeah. We're making an acronym for ourselves. You've been ambitious, Claire. We're gonna be like, I'm part of this club. Yeah, your own t-shirt.
It looked good as big letters on the You know, get Brian to model a cap for us. He could have it on the other bicep.
I actually did notice a lot of us are wearing the Rise Up, Wise Up, Eyes Up merch, which I feel like is a testament to how good T Rico is at selling us clothes.
I bought stuff today. It's my go-to place. I feel glum. I spend money.
I feel like
It's so easy too.
You'll own everything by the end of this year, Claire. If you keep doing this as your
I'm slightly concerned. There's not very many. I think that the only thing that I haven't got of the FLS is the shot glass of their ranges, and I'm so sad because I missed out. They had the hoodies for ages, and I missed out on the hoodies.
I missed out on the hoodies too.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sad. You can't find them anywhere. I shower.
To show us.
Oh, don't you dare! Do not show me a hoodie. You're not my friend anymore. Oh no, that's just harsh. Oh, but do you have the scarf with the pockets? I have the scarf with the pockets. She does. Actually, to be fair, I told her about the scarf with the pockets. We were having scarf. The scarf with the pockets, you have to buy that. That's a final sale item on T Rico at this precise moment. And it is so practical. It has hand pockets.
So can you just put everything you want?
You'll have to show everything.
If y'all want to talk amongst yourself here.
I wore mine to reset. Oh no, not this one. Not this one.
No, this is the one I have. I think they sold out of that one, but this is so soft. So go. Okay, take 5. No, if you have any, I have another thing in the other room. Truly, we have so much stuff. Who else here has T Rico swag?
This one.
Yeah, I've got the Broadway Cares shirt that Cynth's got on.
Yeah.
And I've got this t-shirt I got from London, and I've got the You'll Be Back shirt from London, and I've got this shirt as well because I got it off eBay, the one that I cut up and made into a different top.
Ooh. You see FLS mittens attached to a scarf. There are things in life you do not know you need until you have them.
It's just a bit more like sponsored by T Rico.
I am. I'm a bit warm though.
We all expect free t-shirts in the post.
Yeah.
We can but hope.
It would be quite funny if they said, "Oh my god."
Okay, stand by. Everyone, keep going.
Yeah, I would like to do a shout out to Lou because she makes awesome stuff. I don't know if you have anything but near you, but she sews lovely things, and it's beautiful. I love how we're all creative in different ways, and we can support each other with love, but also with money because that buys theater tickets.
Sure.
Through that. Support with love and money. A+. Yeah, I have that same the Broadway Cares Equity Fed AIDS sweatshirt that they're selling. It's so comfy. And y'all, Puerto Rico were the instigators because I would see everyone posting their photos and I'd be like, do I want to spend more money? And it's like, well, it's a donation and it's super comfortable. And I wore it when I interviewed Emily. So I thought that I would wear a different Hamilton related item because truly when you have so many Hamilton and T Rico things, it's like you just swap it in and out.
But I got those actually from the Broadway Hamilton. They brought these out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they came today. There we go. So they have the Revolution pins and some very snazzy and discreet masks.
Wow.
You look like a highway robber in these ones, though. Dick Turpin does Hamilton is kind of a different.
I also love how like every time you buy an item, they just give you this little like postcard that has just like a thank you on it. It's just they're the sweetest. They're the best.
I was gonna.
Oh look.
Oh yeah.
Here.
You just end up having Lin everywhere. Like I've got him on mirrors, on the fridge, when you go in the frame. My boyfriend is like, do you have to get serious about this now? Because it's literally his face is everywhere.
Is that an FLS magnet?
I
have several.
it's like my wall is sort of just filled with just the postcards and stuff. And I'm afraid to have a boy in here because they'd probably be like, "You are obsessed," and I'd be like, "And get used to it."
Oh my gosh! Wow,
I
feel like
just had
merchandise.
I did wonder if I'd taken it too far though, because one of my Christmas presents was the play, The Haunting of Lin-Manuel Miranda. I think my husband was trying to say something. It's like, yeah. Thanks for that.
And you go too far. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think this is a safe space, like I said before. And honestly, these are amazing. I love having the star and the heart one because it's nice sometimes when you're doing interviews or you're freestyling. It's nice to have little what are they?
It's stressful. They're literally stressful.
The slim
They're
not
literally made for it. Look,
they're Slim Chew toys. Slim Chew toys.
Oh, don't give him that.
No,
Don't give him that.
These stay up here. Slim, yeah. For anyone who hasn't seen what Claire's referencing, I had gotten John the nonstop Hamilton mask from T. Rico, and I was going to give it to him that night for Hanukkah. And then in the midst of an interview, Slim came over and I guess grabbed it from up top and like ran to the other room and just chewed it and like just it was no longer a mask. It would not keep anything away. And T. Rico was awesome. And we now have a new one that John can wear. And gosh, I just love them so much. So if you're looking to sponsor a video series or a podcast,
it's literally just a T. Rico ad now.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay with that. I know. Yes. Wow, look at this. This is really just like I feel a little whatever. All the things.
I am wearing 2 scarves though. I'm getting very warm.
I know. It's fabulous. It is quite good.
2 scarves is cool. Cool.
Yeah, you're in Scotland. It's standard wear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. So there's so many other things I feel like we could talk about with the pandemic and theater and Hamilton and all that, but the time has run out pretty much on this one. But we will. Oh, I didn't do a West Wing quote, but what's next? We'll come back. I don't know. But we'll think of more maybe by the end of this. Yes, West Wing. It is fun. Kelly, one of our Twitterico members, is all about West Wing and knowledge in general. A fabulous trivia host. We have the Showtreons do weekly trivia on Wednesdays. Come and join us if you want to be a Showtreon. And we've had Kelly before, an absolutely fabulous, wonderful human. So why don't we go around and everyone share your name again and where they can find you on Twitter, social media, and if you have any final thoughts that you want to share with the world from the greatest city in the world, wherever you might be. Who wants to go first?
I'll crack on. I'm Louise. I'm from Cardiff in Wales, and I'm on Twitter as BaileyBug1986, and I am on Instagram with my crafty hustle as Panda's Pockets.
You sound so posh. Listen to you.
Where's your accent from, Brian?
Where's
your accent
from? You know where
I
I'm
want to
from.
be Brit.
I want to be Brit. I do love an English accent. Can't really help it sometimes. I'll go last, so someone else take it away.
All right, so I'm Juliana from Brazil. I'm on Twitter as MeloJuliana21. And on Instagram, I'm just double checking here because I don't know it by heart. And on Instagram as JulianaMelo.94. Okay.
And I'm Claire. I'm on Twitter as Compare Claire, spelled with an E, as in compare, Claire. And I'm not on Instagram because I'm old and I don't take pictures and do all that stuff. Yeah,
You're
well, I am.
Wise. You're wise. There's a difference.
No, I'm old. So yeah, that's me.
I'm Emily from Sydney, and you can find me on Twitter. The name has escaped me. What am I? Oh, I'm actually Emily. I think that's my name. I am actually Emily. And on Instagram, Emily T. Boyd. Yeah.
Are you actually Emily, though?
Look, it's a mystery every day. I'd like to think I am, but I really could not be. I could be someone completely different.
Are you?
Myrtle.
Are you?
That's why it's your Twitter name, so you're
really
reminding you.
Her name is Myrtle.
Are any of us Emily?
Am I?
We're actually all Emily.
We are Emily.
Is this just Emily's dream?
God, this would be the best dream if this was the case. Multiple Emily
in Wonderland.
Well, I'm actually Emily. Not from
Emily's dream within a dream.
I'm from.
Where are you from?
LBNY.
I can't read that.
I'm from there.
Yeah.
That's Long Beach, baby, New York. I'm not actually Emily. I'm Brian. And I'm,
Hi, Brian.
Hi.
Brian.
I'm on
Hi,
Twitter.
Brian.
Hi. I'm actually Brian at DMB Healer on Twitter and Brian Spar on Instagram. And I'm not that interesting, so.
Oh,
I don't care.
You
Come
are
on, yes, you are.
You are a Hamilvet.
Stop it! My head just fits into this hat. It doesn't need to be any bigger.
Mega Mind.
I have to get this hat flown in. I can't get another one.
Where's it from again?
Massachusetts.
Actually, Massachusetts.
Actually, from Emily.
It's from Emily.
Thanks, Emily.
You're welcome.
Cool. Elvira, I'm from Spain. I live in Bristol, UK. I didn't say UK before, and I remembered. And I'm lunatica_89 in both Twitter and Instagram. Not too excited what I post, but there we go. A little angriness against Trump, but that's all over now, almost.
Hi, I'm Susanna, again from Amsterdam in the Netherlands, not to be confused with the 4 Amsterdams in the US. I am at custom party banners on Instagram, and I'm gonna adjust the screen brightness. I can make you any banner, and I would like you all please to stay home and stay safe. Guys, we're so close to getting vaccines. Let's just get through the last bit, and then we can all go out again, and everybody can come back, and we can hug each other.
Actually meet in person.
Yes.
I'm Cynthia. I'm from Maryland, and I'm at piano, and then this really long number, but piano 8. I don't know why there's a really long number, but 826666315. But piano.
What do you mean you don't know?
She's a bot. She is really a bot.
I literally have no idea how that number came up on my thing. Anyway,
I thought it had some significance. I'm done now.
Learn something new every quarter.
And Piano 38864 on Instagram. Yeah. And also, and be on the lookout for Lynn's birthday project on the 16th. Yeah. That a large portion of you are part of. So yeah.
I will be.
I'll warm up these pipes.
Yeah. So again, I'm in Glasgow, Scotland. On Twitter, I'm Diamond Kirsty. On Instagram, I'm Kirsty McDiamond, because I decided to amalgamate both of my previous name. And also the diamonds on second, because I did that thing and you make a house account and you take pictures of all the stuff that you're destroying. And yeah, I just hope everybody looks after themselves and looks after each other and stays the hell away from each other. I was trying to be polite there. So
beautiful. And I'm at actually Emily. I mean, wait, no, I'm bwaySHO.
Running joke.
Yes, bwaySHO, bwaySHO, like Broadway show, Shauna. That's me. You can find me on everything at bwaySHO. The show must go online, which you are currently watching. Hello. If you're watching from the future, aka in Australia, hello, future. I hope it's treating you well.
She's getting to go see a show, so I think she's doing fine.
Truly, Brian and I are going to have a revolution. This is not a never mind. So no more Hamilton references. No, they just
Maxed out.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to say no to this.
Yeah, maybe they're too nonstop.
So you
We
can
should all finish doing the gar.
Wait, that photo of Lynn looking at the phone, hilarious. So good.
Do like the Twitterico heart that we always do.
Oh yeah, we will when we close out in a minute. We will all do the hearts to close out the chat. Good call. So we also have bwaySHO the podcast, which you can find on your favorite podcast app. We've had wonderful Hamilton people like Mandy Gonzalez and Fergie L. Philippe. And Ian Weinberger. So there are so many, Suni, there are just so many Hamilton people that are wonderful. And I've had the pleasure of chatting with. And tomorrow, we are celebrating the 100th episode of The Show Must Go Online with Lauren Boyd. I'm so excited. 5 p.m. Eastern time. Just like Emily Boyd, we will have Lauren Boyd.
Anyway related.
Emily,
Lauren.
you're actually everywhere.
Ancestors probably related, but definitely not.
There's a Hamilton performer in you. I know it.
Yeah.
So on that note, I thank all of you so much for joining me today, bringing all of your Hamilton and Twitterico love, and everyone at home for watching. This was so much fun seeing you interact and just like the representation throughout the world. And, it's just the best. It's so cool to see so many people and to have met virtually. And then someday, we will meet in person and it'll be magical.
Yes.
And the world will never be the same.
Because tomorrow there will be more of us.
Oh, God. Stop.
Tomorrow there will be more of us.
There will be more of us. Sunday here somewhere. It's under the other one.
I love it. We love a good prop. So I will do my classic sign off and we will all do our big Twitterico hearts. Love y'all. Thanks for watching. See you at the show.
What are you doing, Brian? What is that? What is that?